In other news, where was Theresa May, however, speaking this week?
Florence.
She did go to Florence.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yes. Nice, lovely place to go.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Where she was trapped in a glass box.
Yeah.
Failed to get out.
I think I'm not quite sure why she went to Florence.
The way it's going with this constant extensions, it feels like the only way we're going to leave Europe is because of actual continental drift.
Nigel Farage is very unhappy about the sort of transitional period, and he said people in this country didn't vote for a transitional period. I'll tell you what else people in this country didn't vote for. Nigel Farage!
The government also, I mean, this is fair, they want us to be more positive about Brexit.
Yes, they do.
So I'm happy to say I'm positive it's a massive risk and no one knows what they're doing.
I wish they'd admit they don't know what they're doing. That would be so admirable to just go, but it's really hard. Forget it, I wish I hadn't said it. Sometimes I say to the kids, right, that is it. No telly, no video games, no iPads. But that is unenforceable. You cannot keep that. Do we like Google porn, have Haribo? I don't care.
Everything in the screen. Everything in the screen. Very good.
Google porn, have Haribo. You've just described Friday night.
Kids and grown-ups love it, sir. This is Tang Faster. What has happened since the speech?
Oh, it's all gone tremendously positively.
It has, yeah.
Boris has claimed credit for it.
Boris has claimed credit for it,
Which is a bit weird, because it went down badly, so it's a bit like demanding praise for a fart in a lift. Boris is just there being like, I smelt it, I dealt it, I did the crime, I've done the rhyme.
Boris claiming credit was like claiming responsibility for a fart in the lift while not being in the lift when the door opened. I did that.
Boris isn't really sort of in charge of Brexit, and now it looks like we're going to be staying in Europe for longer, and no one really knows sort of what's happening. And so it's not really Brexit anymore, but it's still got the name Brexit, and it hasn't really got the original cast in it either. So Brexit's now sort of become Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
I can't wait for The Rock to get involved in Brexit. So excited for Dwayne The Rock Johnson to get involved in Brexit.
If The Rock got involved in Brexit, I would apologise to all the Leave voters so quick. Right, this was a great idea. I love you all.
The category is politics, and the answer is 8%. What is the question?
How much of Abu Hamza will have to be removed so as they can get him through the Heathrow metal detector? What level of erection did I once try and have sex with?
Do you measure like on that scale, or is it just on terms of...
Image of you going out on the pole, checking your wallet before you go out, condom, protractor.
How is the government planning to catch middle-class tax avoiders?
With a butterfly net and the van from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
It'll probably work better than the plan they have.
They're planning to catch them using lie detectors. Middle-class people taking lie detector tests. It's like an upmarket version of Jeremy Kyle. And I'd like to see that. Wouldn't you like to see that middle-class Jeremy Kyle? You know, my cleaner ran off to another family. My husband's using the wrong cutlery. You corked my Merlot!
The next topic is environment. Andy Parsons.
So, now, apparently, plastic bags are evil. Because apparently, they take 100 years to biodegrade. Now, that came as a bit of a shock to me, because often when you get a bag in a supermarket, they seem to biodegrade when you put anything heavy in them. That is why people double bag, isn't it? Because otherwise, it's like a crap magic trick, isn't it? They give you the bag, you put the bag on the counter, you put the stuff in the bag, you pull up the bag, and hey, presto, the stuff's still there on the bloody counter.
Well done, Andy Parsons.
People are saying, oh, well, it's stupid. You know, what's the point of any of our kids learning Arabic? But it could be quite useful, couldn't it? For instance, if you were sat on the tube and two people in front of you were speaking Arabic, it would make you a little more relaxed about what they had in their bag. Basically, these education proposals, you know, they've been upsetting teachers. And you don't want to upset a teacher, do you? Very easy to upset a teacher. All you've got to do to upset a teacher is go, "Oh, you've got long holidays." They don't like that, do they? And then, if you continue with that with, "Oh, and you finish at 3:30. Oh, they're livid, aren't they? Oh, I've got me marking.
And Frankie, the next topic is... it's terrorism. And he's in like a shot.
Now, Tony Blair has once again tried to justify improving our nuclear weapons because he says one of the reasons is he's worried terrorists such as Osama bin Laden might get hold of them. Now, once again, I think this is scaremongering. We know Osama bin Laden hasn't got a nuclear weapon because we haven't seen it on his videos. We know he's got a rifle and a donkey. I don't think we've got to worry until he's ditched the rifle and we see his donkey strapped with a cruise missile.
Well done, Andy Parsons. Bad things to say at a job interview.
I'm really only here because I'm hoping to slip on a wet floor and then fall off a ladder.
Hey, I remember you from the dungeon. How you doing? It's me, Gimpy Terry.
I'm Gimpy Terry's mate.
He has been accused of verbally abusing a policeman at the gates to Downing Street who wouldn't let him through the main gates and forced him to go through the pedestrian gates. He swore at the policeman and apparently called him a pleb.
They may have changed the words he said, because the words they claim he says was, "Best you learn your effing place, you don't run this effing government, you're effing plebs." Right. He said he didn't say those words. Now, I can't read out what words he said, because he hasn't told us, so those are the only ones I can read out.
These are the people, though, who are charged with protecting him. You don't want to upset them.
No.
Oh, yes, I didn't catch Mr Mitchell as he fell from the second floor of the building, because I didn't think he'd want me to touch him, given that I'm a pleb and everything. But as we took his body out of Downing Street, we took him through the main gate. It's what he would have wanted.
We start with a round called Headliners. Here's a picture of Prime Minister Gordon Brown with his immediate predecessor, Tony Blair. But what does BMCB stand for?
Is it Brown's Mental Complete Breakdown?
or is it just Britain's Mr Charisma Bypass?
Is it Blundering Morons Crucifixion Begins?
Or is it just bollocks, my career's buggered?
Sometimes that's all satire needs to be. I'll call it ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and the performers come in with their suggestions. The first subject is unlikely things to hear on Comic Relief.
And we'd just like to thank the donation of 160,000 turkeys from a Mr B. Matthews.
The next topic is the worst thing your new neighbour could say.
What day do the bins go out round here? My wife's body's starting to stink.
I hope my turkeys won't be keeping you awake. So, it was the Olympic parade last week. It was great seeing it live. Obviously, I had to keep a certain amount of a low profile in the crowd because I was throwing a sickie from work at the time. But it was great. 21 buses driving through London at a steady 2 miles an hour. So very like a normal day in London, really. There was an embarrassing moment, though, when one of the conductors rang the bell on the bus and then got the shit kicked out of him by the blind football team. And I realised, actually, that I could get into any sport during the Olympics. The only sport I couldn't actually get into, dressage. Watching a horse walk and then reverse. They call it horse ballet. I don't think anybody would go and see ballet if it was just some bloke walking a bit quicker, slowing down a bit, stopping, bowing, and then pissing off. And secondly, not many people go to ballet anyway because it's shit.
Thank you very much, Johnny Parsons.
Is it the number of tweets that David Cameron's received to his new Twitter account that include the word tosspot? Is it, in fact, what are the chances against getting a joke about Jim Frexit on the BBC?
Berlusconi will put you in the cabinet in Italy at the age of 19 if you're good enough. So you can see where it's coming from.
Harriet Harman's an incredible figure, isn't she? You know that Harriet Harman, when she first came to my attention, she wrote a book about the history of feminism, which she dedicated to her husband. Yeah? She's mistaking sexism with people hating her.
She's always saying stupid things, isn't she? She said she is Radio 2 to Gordon Brown's Radio 4. And you're thinking, well, she's not Radio 2. Radio 2 is the most popular radio station in this country. If she's anything, she's Isle of Wight FM on a Sunday morning at 3 o'clock in January when the transmission mast is broken. Andy Murray, a man who actually came along to our studios, didn't he?
Yes, indeed he did.
Came along after he'd lost Wimbledon.
Yep.
And then after we'd all taken the piss out of him,
Yep.
he went off and he won the Olympics and he won the US Open.
Yes.
I think all sports people who are struggling should come into the audience of the show. Let's get Paula Radcliffe, Philip Sidowu, Nick Clegg. It'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
I think it's kind of ironic that you'd ban smoking in pubs in London when it's kind of impossible to breathe outside a pub in London. Children are chasing buses down the street, like nipping at the tailpipe, hoping for chunks of charcoal fresh air, you know.
So says the man from LA.
You let people drive cars, right? I'm
Yes.
guessing a car puts out more smoke than maybe a cigarette?
It does, but that doesn't mean... Yeah.
You don't actually drive inside.
Yeah.
You know, don't drink and drive, especially in the pub.
OK, so war on terror. Who wants to go first? Andy?
Yes, the war on terror, the Americans have said, you know, they're worried that Iraq is their new Vietnam. Let's hope not. Otherwise, we're in for some shit movies in about 10 years' time.
Good man, Andy. Well done. Andy Parsons there. Your category is sport. The answer is 1 billion.
Is it how many wives would Henry VIII have had if he'd been on Tinder?
I shall have her. And I shall have her. Am I even flicking the right way? I shall have her. OK. Oh, thank you.
What?
Okay.
No, yeah, Is it how many pounds in cash did the Queen hide under her bed when she'd seen that Jeremy Corbyn had been elected leader?
Her family security is at risk. Here's a picture of the new Labour leader, Jeremy Corbyn. So what's going on here?
Has he been sleeping in the bin on the right?
The idea it could be the oldest delivery boy in the world still hasn't figured out how to hold a pizza correctly.
Is he such a dedicated socialist that he refuses to look to the right, even though that's the direction he is in fact walking?
My topic is politics. Who wants to come in on that? Andy Parsons.
So, we've had the Lib Dems announce their immigration plan. What they'd like to do is they'd like to put immigrants into places in Britain which don't, at the moment, have many immigrants. Quite what those parts of Britain will feel about that policy. I grew up for quite a long time in Cornwall, and there they regarded anybody who came from Devon as an immigrant. We had one bloke on our street who was known as the Traveller because he'd once been by train up to London. And we have a new president for Europe, a man by the name of Herman Van Rompuy. Now, the Sun can't wait to get a headline going on this one. Rumpy Pumpy, Rumpy Numpty, Humpty Rumpy. They'll go for gold if he gets involved in an affair with a one-legged ugly dwarf. Rumpy Pumpy from Rumpy Numpty with Frumpy Stumpy Grumpy.
Well done, Andy Parsons. Your category is world news. Your answer is 1/5. What's the question?
How much of a Boris Johnson speech is not, well, I say, boss?
OK, here we go. The first subject is things you wouldn't hear on a science documentary.
Hello, my name's Dara O'Brien. And to try and bring science to the masses, I'm going to appear in a programme with Stephen Hawking wearing a ridiculous hat.
Just enough with the, you know... I love that hat, by the way.
Hello, I'm Dara O'Brien. And I've got a massive head and a massive brain. But all I get to do in this bit is just press a little button.
The Olympics. Who wants to come in that? Any Parsons?
Now, I don't know how you got on with getting tickets for the Olympics. There are still tickets for the Greco-Roman wrestling. Yeah, whoopee-doo. There aren't so many Romans in Britain anymore, are there? And those Greeks can't afford the tickets. And we will have forever our first GB football team. Yeah, it'll be the first time that Ryan Giggs, Ashley Cole and John Terry have got together since the last Miss World contest. But if you haven't got any tickets, go and see the Olympic road race cycling, right? It's free, yeah? But it's not the same as proper road cycling. Never in the Olympics do you see somebody having to go off into a ditch because there's a lorry turning left. Never do you see somebody go over the handlebars because some idiot in his car has opened the door without looking in his side mirror. Never do you see somebody fall off their bike because a car has screamed past and somebody has whined down the window and shouted, "Boo!" Although that may happen when the Olympics come to Hackney in 2012.
Thank you very much, Andy Parsons. What did David Cameron do recently that no other serving British Prime Minister has ever done?
Samantha
Cameron.
Yeah. That's true. But he also went on Letterman in the States, didn't he?
He came out to loads of dry ice and they said it represented a London fog when we haven't had a London fog for over 100 years. That's the stereotype image that those Americans believe. What? The fat, dumb redneck. The closest we've currently got to a London fog is Boris Johnson at the moment. Either that or Amy Childs from The Only Way Is Essex.
What Boris Johnson did say was that he got it wrong deliberately because he didn't want to seem like he had Latin coming out of every orifice. Now, that sounds creepy, doesn't it?
The thing about Boris Johnson, though, isn't it, is everybody thinks he's quintessentially English, but in fact he was born in America, named after a Russian, and looks like a Swedish person who's eaten another Swedish person.
And it's the economy. Andy Parsons.
I suppose we should be grateful we're not in Greece. Things very bad there. There's rioting. Things so bad, the austerity measures, that they can't even afford to put petrol in their milk bottles to chuck them. Things are so bad they're having to put milk in their milk bottles. That's how bad things are. Oi, take that. Yeah, in 2 hours your clothes are going to smell really bad. The European Central Bank, right, they have said that when it comes to Greece, they think it may be a bit like the Ebola virus, right? And they said we may have to cut off our leg to survive. Now, they may know a bit about finance. They know very little about the Ebola virus. It affects your entire body. You cut your leg off, you've still got the Ebola virus. You've just got one leg bloody less.
Thank you very much, Andy Parsons. Lines you wouldn't hear in a war film.
We've managed to crack the Germans' code. Turns out they were sending messages in German.
I'm afraid we can't afford goggles. So what we're going to have to do, we're all going to have to go like this.
Things you didn't hear at the Olympics.
I am the little girl from the opening ceremony. This is my real voice.
And it's gold for Ireland! And here...
Go on, go again, man, go again. Do it.
And there's fuck all for Ireland!
No, I'm not letting you off for the last Ireland joke. You're not getting on again for the rest of the show. You are not doing another one for the rest of the show, all right? Discarded titles for the next Harry Potter book.
Harry Potter and the Mudblood Prince in a Nazi uniform. Harry Potter and the two other kids who can't act.
The first topic is global warming. Who wants to come in on that? Andy Parsons.
Sheryl Crow, she's gone into the debate. She wants us to save natural resources by apparently using only one sheet of toilet paper per visit. Now, let's face it, sometimes that's just not feasible, is it? But ever since I found that out, part of me's there thinking, each time I use more than one sheet, I've let Sheryl Crow down. Then part of me's thinking, oh, I'd never want to go out with Sheryl Crow. She's a toilet paper Nazi. And half the time, she's probably got a dirty arse.
Thank you very much, Andy Parsons. Here's a picture of former Prime Minister Tony Blair recently, but what does BGBC stand for?
Is it in fact Blair's guilt-free, blood-stained conscience?
That was a lovely laugh.
Is it in fact everything the British Army didn't have when we went to war? Bullets, guns, bombs, choppers. I would like to apologise for the rocking of this boat, but we are currently being humped by a whale. There appears to have been an incident in the swimming pool. If a Mr. Barrymore could contact the captain... He actually has ice baths in a wheelie bin. And I mean, that can't be enjoyable, can it? Particularly if he does it on a Tuesday and gets carried away by the cancer.
What a rugby commentator would never say.
Oh, and he skipped through the defence, and that's lucky, because if these South Sea Islanders catch you, they eat you.
And it's the coin toss, and Johnny Wilkinson has sprained his thumb. And here comes...
Hugh Dennis.
It was after I heard the buzzer that I realised there was one thing I hadn't heard at the Olympics, right, was fuck it.
Let's spin the wheel. First subject is the North-South divide. How?
The North-South divide, yes. I believe we should build a wall and make it official. I do. Obviously, you know, Northerners can build it. Well, pay for it. But it's all built on stereotypes. The assumptions are it's all built on stereotypes. Like, I have relatives in Grimsby who come to London and look for London to fulfil its stereotype. So they walk round going, oh, it's so unfriendly, no one chats to each other. And I say to them, why this constant need to chat? In Grimsby. I said to them, there was a little less chat and a bit more reading. Grimsby could be a cultural and economic superpower, it really could. The assumption is ridiculous, though. The assumption that everybody down south is rich is unfair. Like London, yes, very wealthy city. It's also got the biggest concentration of poverty in the UK is in London. That's a fact. Not me, thank God. God, no, don't be silly. No. This goes tits up, mummy bails me out. But, See, maybe that's why I've got a thing about this, because I am from a very middle-class southern family, and I am a bit of a middle-class southern twat. You know, we're one of those families that meet and everything is lovely. It's like, so how are you? Are you well? Yes, I'm lovely. Are you lovely? I'm lovely too. But we're not really lovely. We can't do confrontation, the middle classes. That's why you never see us on the Jeremy Kyle show. Ever, do you? Ever. She's sleeping with your best mate! Well, obviously, I'm not happy about it, Jeremy. It'd be rubbish, wouldn't it? They're having a baby, she stole money off you to buy drugs. She is a bit of a character. Isn't she?
Oh, thank you very much, Hal. Well done. Now we're left with Josh. Let's see what you have. Let's spin the wheel. The topic is the home. Josh Whittaker.
My flatmate is kind of filling our kitchen full of all the kind of pointless things my mum has in her home now. I don't know if we've just got this tea bag saucer, the saucer for tea bags. It's a very useful item. If you haven't got it, what it is, it's a saucer that you keep halfway between your kettle and your bin. And it's basically for when you make a cup of tea and then you get the tea bag, look across at the bin and go... I mean, that's a journey, isn't it? I mean, that's 3 or 4 yards. I mean, I need a stop-off. That's like driving to Leeds. I could die of tiredness. Then you walk halfway, put your tea bag down, go back, pick up your cup of tea and walk past the bin and out the kitchen. All we've done is create a kind of tea bag death row. That's all we've done. We've got our tea bag sauce on our breakfast bar. If you haven't got a breakfast bar, what it is, it's an extra yard of sideboard. And it's for eating your breakfast. It's when you wake up in the morning, you want to eat your breakfast, but you think, bloody hell, it's too early for a table, isn't it? I mean, I can't handle one of them until lunchtime. I mean, what I want is something slightly higher and less comfortable. That's what I'm looking for here. There's one thing I don't want to eat at 8 a.m. It's a bar. That is the reason I feel so shit in the first place.
Well done to both of you. Unlikely things to hear at New Year.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, and some prawn crackers, thanks.
My New Year's resolution is to try new and interesting ways of doing things. That's why I'm stirring the punch with my cock.
I've just had a glass of this punch.
My prediction for this year is that I will make a high-pitched sound, there will be a buzzing noise, and then I will die.
Oh, I'd murder a bit of turkey.
Happy New Year! Oh, I'm so glad you're here. I want a divorce.
Well, now it's time for Big Ben. I'll put the music on. Ben, get your kicks off.
Welcome to Hootenanny, the topless bar for the gentleman who prefers the older lady.
Of course I can stay up till 12. I'll just have another Viagra.
Last New Year's party really ended with a bang for me when I drunkenly mistook a party popper for a tampon.
Things you wouldn't hear on the radio.
In that episode of the Hugh Dennis story, Hugh Dennis was played by Bruce Willis, Steve Punt was played by Hugh Dennis, and the band was Shawaddy Waddy.
You touch my turnips and I'll fuck you up.
And now for a travel update. There is an accident on the M1. It's a good one, so hurry up. There's flames and everything.
Next, a book at bedtime. Martin Jarvis reads the speeches of Hitler in a high-pitched girl's voice.
Good afternoon, this is Radio 4 and I have a regional accent.
Next on Radio 4, the dogging forecast.
Here on Traffic Watch, we're predicting long delays on the M4, where I'm about to hit my ex-wife's car with this helicopter.
And now it's the panel show where our panel try to stave off premature ejaculation. Yes, it's just a minute.
Good morning, this is Breakfast with Tony Blackburn. I'm not actually on the radio, I've broken into your kitchen. Do you want toast?
Next, more lesbian propaganda with Woman's Hour.
Well, you've certainly stumped the Gardener's Question Time panel. None of us know how to bring a fox to orgasm.
You're listening to Heart FM. The same 5 songs all day long.
"6 a.m, welcome to the breakfast show. Who's up at 6 a.m? My wife's leaving me. My dad didn't get up at 6 a.m, and he was a fucking minor."
OK, then that round of points go to Frankie, Hugh and Michael. OK, so that leaves Nish. Let's see what your topic is. Let's spin the wheel. The topic is race.
I'll take this one, Reece. Difficult and interesting time to be a non-white person living in Britain right now. But I think things are improving, especially to be a non-white comedian. Because 10 years ago, I got some advice from a former agent. She said, "Nish, you should stop mentioning on stage that you're not white." And I was like, people are gonna know. I'm not exactly flying under the radar race-wise here. So a couple of weeks later, I got offered an audition in a sitcom. Now, that part required me to do what was cheerfully referred to in the script as the accent, right? Weren't talking about French, were they? Now, when that came in, I said, there's absolutely no way that I'm going to do that. It's cheap, it's Uncle Tom, it's selling out my entire cultural heritage. And she said, this is the problem with you, Nish. You take too high-minded approach. You'll never be successful in comedy because you will never do comedy that relates to the man in the factory. And when she said that, I said, I don't really relate to your paradigm of the man in the factory. I think what you're trying to say is that I should appeal to as high a percentage of the British population as possible. But in the 80s, we shifted from a manufacturing to a service-based economy. So actually, if you wanted to talk about most of the British public, what you should have said is the man who works in the shop or the man who works in a hotel. And she said, I mean, this is exactly what I'm talking about.
Thank you very much, Nish. Points in the round go to Reece James. Come on. We come to scenes we'd like to see, so if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, please. I'll read out this week's topics and then we'll see what our panelists can come up with. OK, here we go. If you do that in as fucking shambolic a way as possible, that'd be really helpful. Of course, we'll get them to do it all again. Now we come to scenes we'd like to see, so if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, please. I'll read out this week's topics and then we'll see what our panelists can come up with. If you could manage to do that less sarcastically. Now we come to scenes we'd like to see, so if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, please. Look, he naturally... Walk in like you're naturally walking into the position.
That's my normal walk.
Yeah, no,
2 inches that way.
What? I'll give you 2 inches. Now. Thank you, I appreciate it.
OK, here we go. The first subject is unlikely things to hear on a history documentary. Sorry, too soon. Apologies.
Harsh.
My fault. Sorry, do you want to walk back out again? My fault.
No,
it's still valid. It's still you. It's still you doing it. No one will step in.
I'll go back a little
promise you.
bit.
Go back all the way. I'm sorry. Itchy trigger finger. I apologise. Oh, now I'm so tempted to do it again.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's very important that part of my head looks fantastic at all times.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. Yeah.
That's why I plucked all the hair off, just to make sure that it received all the attention it deserved. Wayne Rooney's a pussy.
OK, at the end of that round, the points go to Alan, Hugh and Milton. Wow. OK, can we do that again without you whining like a fucking child, right? Go back there. Christ almighty. Things you wouldn't hear on the radio.
This is the Radio Novichok. Don't touch that dial.
Give yourself a spray of Lynx Africa, open up a can of Relentless, sit back in your cargo shorts and relax. This is Virgin Radio.
And with the time now at 3 a.m., it's probably time to just stare into space and think about where it all went wrong and maybe have a bit of a cry.
Yes. Coming up, we have got some of the sickest tracks from some of the illest artists around. This is Karaoke on Hospital Radio.
Well, today on The Archers, Daisy gets a bolt from the blue when she unexpectedly wanders into an abattoir.
Viking, Dogger, 40s, White. Oh, sorry, that's not the shipping forecast. That's my Tinder dates bio.
At number 2, that was Ed Sheeran with Galway Girl. And now at number 1 for the 50th week in a row, Ed Sheeran with Galway Girl.
And now the long-range forecast. It's going to be quite windy.
We welcome you to Radio 3. That's right, just you.
And now it's time for Thought for the Day. Nope, it's gone.
Well, this is Gardener's Question Time, and a big welcome, especially to our younger viewers, like 92-year-old Enid from Surrey.
And next on Radio 4, it's Woman's Hour. And after that, 23 Men's Hours.
Must have coffee. That was first thought of the day.
On Jazz FM, it's a new entry at number 1. It's Skibbity-bap-bap-bibbity-bap-beam. Sorry, I was having a stroke. It's Ed Sheeran, Galway Girl.
Boris Johnson is joining us on the couch this morning. He's not a guest, it's just that's where he slept last night.
The shipping forecast. There will be shipping.
And we interrupt this broadcast to bring you the tragic news that Aretha Franklin has sadly passed away. And what better way to show our respect for Miss Franklin than with Galway Girl by Ed Sheeran.
Spin the wheel. The first subject is exercise. Who wants to come in that? Ed.
I ran the London Marathon this year. Thank you. That was an absolutely amazing reception from you guys. Thank you very much. There was an awkward pause. Two people thought, I better fill that and go, ooh, and the rest of you collectively just went with, well, we could not give a shit. Thank you very much. We saw that on television. Thousands of people did that. Also, it was in April. How about you? Move on with your life. Also, of course you ran the London Marathon. You are a white middle-class man in his early 30s. That's what you do. And you're right, that is the most basic first step on the most basic posh man life ever. I can live my whole life on tracks now if I wanted to. That's how it goes. Marathon, marriage, kid, sleep with the au pair, divorce, Crocs, death. That's it. Did it for charity, because I'm a great guy. And you sort of have to. The charity I did it for was a type 1 diabetes charity. Before you think I'm too good of a human being, we'll let you know that I am type 1 diabetic, so I will see that money eventually. Very much playing the long game with that cash. Didn't actually enjoy the marathon, though, for one specific reason. Every few miles, there was groups of people stood there with blue rubber gloves on, with globs of Vaseline on the ends of their fingers, like this. Now, at the time, I had no idea that they were employed by the marathon. You're supposed to run past them, take Vaseline, rub it on any areas of chafage. I had no idea they were supposed to be there. To me, that just looked like some sort of horrendous motivational technique. You better keep running, boy. You better pick up the pace. Otherwise, it's examination time. You got an appointment with Dr. Fingers. Thank you very much.
Now we come to our final quickfire round called Scenes We'd Like to See. This is for everyone, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. I caught ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and the performers come in with their suggestions. OK, here we go. The first subject is unlikely lines from a thriller.
Michael, Peter, David, Vladimir, I think we may have a spy in the organisation.
Give me the Pentagon. Then the triangle, and then the square.
Ah, Pussy Galore, Bond here. I've been told by my doctor that I need to contact all previous partners.
The owner of this motel dresses up as his mother and stabs people. But the guidebook says it's still better than the Ibis.
I want you to go to Warsaw, meet a man called Borislav. You'll then ask him why he didn't fix my plumbing before he left for home.
Miss Scarlett looked at him through the window. He had one massive testicle like a space hopper. That was why they called him Professor Plum.
This is no ordinary pen, Bond. Turn it upside down, the woman's clothes drop off, and you can see it tense.
Red or green, which do I cut? Come on, they're only peppers. How long is this salad going to take?
We need to find the third man. There's no way Amanda Holden will shag just two of us.
Here's Simon.
The Orient Express has been cancelled. However, there was a murder on the temporary Orient replacement bus.
I have amnesia. The tattoos on my body will tell me what happened. Dara was here.
I'd been a serial killer for 4 years, but they'd never given me a nickname. Then you bite one guy in the ass, and suddenly you're the butt muncher.
Ah, the butt muncher's got me! The butt muncher's got me!
First topic is health.
I had to have my penis looked at. By a doctor. I didn't just wake up one morning and go, oh, more people should be looking at this, quite frankly. I used to spend an hour a day at my bedroom window with it pressed up against the glass. It was a scary experience having to go to the doctors. I thought I should build up the courage to get down there and have it looked at. Well, I went in there, my courage flew out the window like a little bird. Because as soon as I went in there, I found out that the doctor who I had an appointment with was a lady doctor. Now, I obviously don't have a problem with ladies being doctors. In fact, give them the vote, that's what I say. But there is a worry if there's a lady poking round down there. In that context, what if your nethers decide, ooh, think it's time to go to work? Luckily, then, I remembered I'm not an Alsatian whose lipstick pops out at the slightest whiff of an undercarriage. I needn't have worried because she was a good doctor, she was a great doctor. She put me at ease straight away using one word. This is what she said. She said, OK, Mr Gamble, just go behind that curtain there and pop it out for me. There's the word pop. Now, pop is a lovely word. As soon as I heard that word, I knew everything was going to be fine because she was not expecting anything big in that area at all. Because the word pop is reserved for very small things. No one has ever said, come in, help me, pop the elephant in the van, have they? So I was relaxed. Better than me going in there and her saying, OK, just heave yourself out your trousers for me. Just haul yourself out the front of your trews. Just swing yourself over in my direction. Maybe I can bring out this Shire horse and he can drag your junk over towards my workstation. Or open this corner cupboard and bring out a team of pantomime dwarves who can shoulder your meat and waddle it over towards me, like pallbearers at a weird circus cock funeral. Thank you.
Good job. And the first topic is relationships. Ed.
So I've just moved in with my girlfriend. Thanks. Yeah, thanks. Cheers, thanks for the support, Mum. That's good of you. It's good, it's exciting. The first time I've lived with a girl. Obviously, we're finding out a lot more about each other that we didn't know before. What I found out about her is she's kinder, funnier, more sensitive than I ever realised. What we've both found out about me is I am a terrible, terrible prick and so difficult to live with. Because it turns out I am a tidy person. I didn't realise. I thought I was normal. But apparently it is not normal to have a favourite J-cloth. She is a messy, messy lady. She is unbelievable. She's laid back, no worries. She says that a lot. No, who has no worries? Are you dead? Are you a robot? What's wrong with you? You should wake up, worry, go to bed. That is a full day as far as I'm concerned. She genuinely said this out loud the other day. Hakuna Matata. And I'm starting to think the actual Swahili translation of that is doesn't hoover. Because there is underwear everywhere. This is an odd side effect of living with a girl that I did not fully anticipate. I no longer find women's underwear sexually titillating in any way whatsoever. Because I used to be able to just see underwear and that was enough to get me excited. Didn't have to be a woman in it. Just be a bra on the floor and I'd go, ooh, boobs were there. That's enough. Now, nothing like that. I see a pair of knickers now, it's just something the remote control might be under.
Well done, Obama. Very good. And the topic is diet.
I hope this isn't just a hint that I need to lose weight. I've lost quite a lot of weight recently anyway. I've lost about 6 stone in the last 3 years. Cheers, guys, thanks. I mean, no. Too late, you went with the British reaction. Thank you very much. Couldn't give a shit, mate. Carry on. We don't... Stop showing off. We don't want to hear about it. Found myself in a bit of a nightmare situation recently. I went to the Middle East to do some gigs. Now, that bit was nice, that was lovely, but they put you up in a hotel where the food is all-you-can-eat buffets 3 times a day for 10 days. Now, this is a nightmare scenario for me because I cannot be trusted at an all-you-can-eat buffet. Sometimes I don't even remember the buffet bit. All I remember is picking up a plate and I'll wake up 6 hours later covered in rice and sauce. And I can't theme a buffet. I can't theme a buffet either. I won't pick up a plate and go, oh, I'll have some rice, I'll have some curry. Well done, Ed, you've made yourself an Indian meal. Won't do that. I'll get a plate, I'll get a spoon, and I'll run along the full line of trays, just scraping food from every nation onto it until I've got some sort of plate Pangea, just an unidentifiable mass, just Spanish food, Japanese food, Chinese food, Indian food, coffee, sushi, just horrible. Just wedge my face into it, everyone going, is that man all right? Don't look at me! I'm having a buffet! Just food from all over the world. My body for 10 days had no idea where I was on this planet. I went for a shit 3 days in, a UN flag came out.
And the first subject is parenthood. Who wants to come in on that? Ed.
Been thinking recently that I should maybe have a baby, but I've thought about it and definitely not. Couldn't handle that amount of responsibility. Something that precious, it's terrifying. You know, I've got friends who've just had a baby and they offer that thing around like a plate of biscuits. Do you want to hold my baby? Do you want to hold my baby? I don't want to touch your baby. That is a heart in a bag. I'm going nowhere near that thing. You wouldn't send the work experience into the boardroom, would you? Start me off at holding your uncle and I will work my way up. This is Uncle Toby, 47, from Swansea. Don't worry about dropping me, Ed. I am absolutely shit-faced. Still can't help it. I still think I might want a baby. Like, there's just moments in life I'm just grabbing at signs from the universe. Think, oh, maybe I should have a baby. It's happened to me the other day. I was in the queue in a shop to buy a new light bulb. Because I'm not a student anymore, my light bulb had gone. I'm not going to sit there in the dark for 6 months. So I was in the queue, and in the queue in front of me was a man with a baby. He was a dad. You've got to give people the benefit of the doubt in that scenario. Can't go storming in going, excuse me, is that your baby? You've just got to admit it probably is, right? And on the wall, there were these light switches. They weren't real light switches. They were just, like, designer ones to show you what they would look like on the wall. And the baby was playing with them. Was going, ah-da-da-da-da-da-da, playing with them. And the dad was going, yeah, try that one. And was going, ah-da-da. I saw that. I thought, ooh, that's quite sweet. Maybe I want a baby. There's something in that tableau that I quite like. Maybe I want a baby. Am I broody? Is this brood? And then the dad walked off with the baby, and I wandered over to the light switches and started playing with them. I thought, oh, no, that's what I wanted.
Well done, Ed. And the first subject is health. Ed Campbell.
So, in the last 3 years, I've lost 6 stone in weight. Cheers. No, too late. A lot of audiences like to clap, they like to whoop, they like to cheer. You guys just went with staring, and that is absolutely fine. That's all right, that's fine. I think I might have made a mistake as well, because I'm not as happy now. I thought health would equal happiness. Turns out the happiest moments of my life were just me, sat on the sofa, in my pants, laughing through a mouthful of cake. I'm a more worried person now. I think, am I eating the right thing? Am I exercising enough? I went for a run the other day. I accidentally swallowed a fly. I had to Google how many calories is a fly. 6 per serving, if you're wondering. Weirdly now, I feel like an undercover fat person who's been secretly sent into the lair of the thin people to gather information on what those crazy villains are doing. And then I feed it back to the fat people. You've got to feed it back. We eat anything. So I'm in there just going, what are these thin people up to? What's going on? Oh, interesting. That guy's got a packed lunch, but he's actually eating it at lunchtime. Well, I have never seen that before. He's not just made it in the morning and then eaten it on the bus on the way to work. And then bought chips at 1. That is intriguing resolve. Ah, they're using phrases I've never heard before. Things that only thin people say. I think I've got some biscuits. I'll just go and check. Who's living their life like that? Who buys biscuits and then forgets that they exist? That is unacceptable. I'm so deep undercover, I've met the bosses of the thin mafia. People who don't even like food that much. You go, oh, no, I'm not really a food person, you know. No, it's not. It's more of a fuel, isn't it? It helps me get through the day. If you don't like food, then what are you thinking about all of the time?
Thank you very much, Ed Campbell. And the topic is relationships. There you go.
I am in a serious relationship. That's what she makes me say. Serious. I'm in a serious relationship. This is my partner. Sounds like you're in a law firm, is what it sounds like. Serious relationship sounds like a disease. How's your relationship? I'm sorry to say it's serious. I'm not in a serious relationship, I'm in a silly relationship. You tell me if you think this sounds like a serious relationship. The other day, me and my girlfriend were having a discussion about the Beatles. At some point during that discussion, she forgot George Harrison's name. Now, she previously knew George Harrison's name, but her brain did something to her that all of our brains do to us now and again. It just deleted a fact for no reason. And it panics you when that happens. You think, am I going mad? Am I going senile? You go on a spiral of panic and worry, and I could see she was worried. And any good boyfriend in that situation would have told her George Harrison's name, and I am a good boyfriend. But I am a better comedian. So what I chose to do in that situation was write down every guess that she took at George Harrison's name. I have memorised them, and I'm now going to recite them to you, the good people of Mock the Week. Here we go. Guess number one. John, Paul, Ringo, John. There it is. She thought there might have been two Johns in the Beatles. Maybe the Beatles were a double John band. And as if we'd remember them in that order, we wouldn't go John, Paul, Ringo, John. We wouldn't bookend it with Johns. It would be John, John, Paul, Ringo, John, John, or Paul, Ringo and the Johns. She knew that was wrong immediately. I squawked in her face. Guess number two. John, Paul, Ringo, Joseph. Hello, Joseph. What are you doing in there? I didn't realise the Beatles were a nativity-themed band. Three guys with 60s hairdos, one child with a tea towel tied to his head. Again, she knew it was wrong. I was on the floor already. Then her brain gave her a little free pass, gave her a clue, gave her the surname. Thank you, brain. John, Paul, Ringo, Tony Harrison. Oh, Tony, you're not part of this conversation. Please remove yourself from the vicinity immediately. I said, you're half right. You're half right. I promise you, her next guess was Harrison Ford. Thank you very much.
Bravo. Very good. The first subject is exercise. Who wants to come in that? Ed.
I ran the London Marathon this year. Thank you. That was an absolutely amazing reception from you guys. Thank you very much. There was an awkward pause. Two people thought, I better fill that and go, ooh, and the rest of you collectively just went with, well, we could not give a shit. Thank you very much. We saw that on television. Thousands of people did that. Also, it was in April. How about you? Move on with your life. Also, of course you ran the London Marathon. You are a white middle-class man in his early 30s. That's what you do. And you're right, that is the most basic first step on the most basic posh man life ever. I can live my whole life on tracks now if I wanted to. That's how it goes. Marathon, marriage, kid, sleep with the au pair, divorce, Crocs, death. That's it. Did it for charity, because I'm a great guy. And you sort of have to. The charity I did it for was a type 1 diabetes charity. Before you think I'm too good of a human being, we'll let you know that I am type 1 diabetic, so I will see that money eventually. Very much playing the long game with that cash. Didn't actually enjoy the marathon, though, for one specific reason. Every few miles, there was groups of people stood there with blue rubber gloves on, with globs of Vaseline on the ends of their fingers, like this. Now, at the time, I had no idea that they were employed by the marathon. You're supposed to run past them, take Vaseline, rub it on any areas of chafage. I had no idea they were supposed to be there. To me, that just looked like some sort of horrendous motivational technique. You better keep running, boy. You better pick up the pace. Otherwise, it's examination time. You got an appointment with Dr. Fingers. Thank you very much.
And the first topic is music. Who wants to come in? Ed.
I like heavy metal music. Yeah, none of you believe me, that's fine. I do not look like I like heavy metal music. I don't have a heavy metal face. I have what is known as a Coldplay face. That's what I've got. Drink it in, basic bitch, indie white man face. That's me. Other metalheads don't trust me either. I can't go to the gigs because I look like an undercover Mormon on a conversion mission. Look like I'm going to start sneaking up behind people in the crowd going, hey, pretty rockin' band, right? Yeah, you know who else was rockin'? Lord Jesus Christ, our Saviour. Yeah. I love the guitarist. Yeah, love the guitarist. Look, long hair and a beard. You know who else had long hair and a beard? Right again, Lord Jesus Christ our Saviour. What's this we're all doing? Oh, head banging. Yeah, no, cool. I do head banging too, but when I do it, it's to get rid of gay thoughts. Can't go to the gigs as well, because I don't know how to do the things that everyone does in the gigs. I feel out of place. Heavy metal gigs, everyone does this. That is the sign of the beast, the sign of the devil. It shows you're part of the community. I'd never done that before. I feel too self-conscious, but I went to a gig recently, got brave enough to go there. Suddenly, my arm shot up in the air. I was like, oh, my God, I'm doing it. I'm actually joining in for the first time. I looked up, and what my hand was actually doing was this. That is not the sign of the beast. That is an uncle saying the burgers are ready at a barbecue. That's what that is.
The first subject is courage. Who's doing that? Ed Gamble.
There it is, the traditional representation of courage. I got called a pussy the other day. You're all just going to sit there and go, yeah. But no, right, I agree with the sentiment. I don't agree with the choice of word. I think that is a wrong choice of word to use, because essentially what that person was saying is they were saying, I think you're so cowardly, I feel justified in comparing you to the vagina. I think that is very unfair on the vagina. There is nothing cowardly about that thing. That is the bravest thing in the universe. It pushes whole humans out of it. Words I'd use to describe that? Hardy. Rugged. It's the biological equivalent of a Timberland boot. What do we use when we want to talk about bravery? The balls. They got balls. Big balls. I think that's wrong, because I can only speak for my own balls, but they shy away from any sign of danger. Sometimes it doesn't even have to be a dangerous situation. It can just be a slightly cold bath. You're like, oh, I'm ready for this bath. Here I go down to the water's edge. They're having none of it. They're like, before they even get to the meniscus, absolutely not. Climb back inside him. Go, 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 go. Don't forget the bag. Don't forget the bag. Fold it up. Fold up the bag real tight. My balls are pussies.
And the topic is diet.
So, my last job was handing out chocolate bars in a Dubai hotel. I tried to stay healthy. I listened to all the wrong people about health, though. I started reading health blogs, like health bloggers. They're all the same sorts of people. They're sort of posh young women in their early 20s. They say things like, first thing in the morning, to energise yourself, why not have hot water and lemon? Hot water and lemon to energise... There is no way hot water and lemon is energising me in the morning. The only way that would happen would be if I squeezed the lemon in my eye and poured the water on my dick. I do not want your hot water and lemon because I'm not a kettle that needs descaling. The other thing they all talk about is something that I like to call the cauliflower conspiracy. I don't know if you've heard about this. This is the idea that if you like to have anything unhealthy, you need to replace that immediately with cauliflower. The worst offender for this is cauliflower pizza. I'll tell you what this is. Right, they say, oh, it's like normal pizza, but you take away the dough base and you replace it with a disc of mashed up cauliflower. So, nothing like normal pizza. I made one, it took me 6 hours. First thing you've got to do is grate the cauliflower. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, the cauliflower is not a shape for grating. It's not a shape, is it? It's just chaos. It's everywhere. It's so fragile, you touch it to metal, it immediately explodes. It's like you're in the middle of Frozen. You end up with this vegetable dandruff, you put it in the microwave, you warm it up, that makes it really wet, you have to get the moisture out of the cauliflower, then you have to pat it down into a rough base shape. Then they say, choose the topping. Whatever you like, you can choose whatever topping you like, and I think we can agree I had lost most of my day up until this point. So I thought, I'm going to claw a victory back right at the last minute, so the topping I chose was a whole Domino's.
Thank you very much. The Large Hadron Collider in CERN in Switzerland starts on Wednesday.
Or to give it its proper name, the Black Hole Machine.
They've taken all necessary precautions.
No, they haven't.
They haven't taken the necessary precaution of not doing it, though, have they?
There's a 1 in 50 million chance that it could create a black hole which will end the universe. Now, I would argue that if there's any chance of that, like if my kid said to me, can I get a train set up in the loft? I would go, OK. If said, could I get a train set that might end the universe? I'd say, what about a bike?
So you'd prefer it if they got the protons and then cycled them round the tunnel on a bicycle?
The thing is, I'm sure they're going to find out some interesting things about protons, but I would add, I don't give a fuck.
I think if the...
I think they've taken all the necessary safety precautions,
It's
right?
it might create a tiny black hole, right, which is the worst type of black hole, because we'll all get drawn slowly towards Switzerland. And every week this desk will be like 2 feet further over there. And then eventually we'll just look one week and Russell have been replaced by just the jaws of infinity.
Why was that directed at me, Frankie?
The jaws of infinity. I thought we were going to see a cow and chocolate and we'd be in Switzerland, but all of a sudden my eyeballs are sucked out of my face. Just for sitting nearest to the audience.
What? You thought
Why
that...
am I the first to go?
You're nearest to Switzerland. We tilted it around during the show so that you'd be the one closest to Switzerland.
Well, this is bullshit now.
No one's going to die. It's basically...
He just told me I'm going to die on telly. He looked at
on
me and
telly. My God, I hope you have the cameras rolling when it happens. That'll be incredible. Just him going, "Wah!" and clinging on to the desk, right? While we hammer at his fingers. Go! Go proudly! No. Go, Russell! Go, Brett.
You'd be like that. There's more space on scenes we'd like to see.
That's not going to work, though, is it? Because what they're looking for is a thing called the Higgs boson.
Yes.
Is that right? Which is a subatomic particle, which is, you know, lasts for a million trillionth of a second. It's incredibly small. Most of the scientists I've ever met would have trouble finding a clitoris. They're not going to find that.
Well, OK, they don't find the Higgs boson by just rooting around and checking on their desks. I'm sure there's a Higgs boson.
Are you saying that's your method for finding the clitoris? Well, I'll root around, and if it's not there, I'll check the desk.
With that, we offer the points to Frankie, Hugh and Michael! We start with a round call. If this is the answer, what is the question? On the board are 6 categories. Matt, which category would you like?
World news, please.
OK, world news it is. The answer is petrol, money and drugs. What is the question?
What will the motto be for the Qatar World Cup?
Yes, the question I was looking for is what items are at risk of running out in Greece after Sunday's crucial vote on the EU's bailout terms. This is news as 61% of the Greek population voted against accepting the strict austerity measures proposed by the EU. There's now a real risk that the country will run out of money, fuel and medicine. So what does it all mean for Greece?
It's ridiculous now. The whole thing is just going on. It is like a soap opera. And I don't watch the Eurozone crisis now day to day. I wait till Sunday and I watch the Omnibus edition.
This thing of just referring to the Greek exit as Grexit, it just is like, are you in that much of a hurry that you couldn't say a third syllable?
If the British exit happens, it's going to be called Brexit. It sounds like a cheap form of Lego, or what the Greek Prime Minister does every time he meets Angela Merkel.
Let's kick off with a round called Inside the Mind of. With the G8 conference fast approaching, we clamber inside the mind of the American president. Can anyone tell me what the voices inside George W. Bush's head might be saying?
Are they saying, if you step on the cracks in the pavement, George, we have to invade Syria?
Unlikely film trailers.
Harrison Ford is 73 and he's back in Indiana Jones and the tricky patch of ice outside the post office.
We start with a round called Picture of the Week. I show the panel a topical image and ask them to tell me what's happening. So what's going on here?
Is it the only couple that Ed Balls would beat on Strictly?
He's saying, please join me, Owen, on my cabinet. I'm so lonely.
I imagine Jeremy Corbyn's just going, I did warn you, Owen. If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
He's incredible in that he can gather so many people together in a rally and they sort of see him as a messiah in the same way he will probably be crucified in the next election.
Chancellor George Osborne ahead of the Conservative Party conference this week. A recent survey has put him well ahead of his rivals to succeed David Cameron as the party leader. It's exciting to know that this has already started.
Yeah.
Party leader election, which will take place in 2019, and there's already polls about who's going to be taking over.
Well, I hope it's not him, actually. I hope it's Boris. Because if Boris gets in and Corbyn's in, you can forget about politics altogether. Don't have an election. Have no election at all and just settle it all with a bicycle race.
Your category is politics. The answer is 4%. What is the question?
Is it what are the chances of Johnny Depp appearing on the next series of Mr. and Mrs?
Is it how much of the old Top Gear audience has Chris Evans held on to?
Including that.
Is it by 2017 what proportion of celebrities will still be alive?
I know. Ooh, we're not the one killing them. Here's a picture of Leader of the Opposition, David Cameron. But what does TLEC stand for?
Is it Tories launch exfoliating cream? Where would you put it?
Or is it the Top Man launch Eton collection?
Or is it just simply Tosser leading everyone to catastrophe?
Are you not a natural Tory?
Commercials that never made it to air.
To qualify for second meerkat toy, Alexander has invaded Ukraine.
OK, let's spin the wheel again. Subject is health. Andy Parsons.
With flu jabs now, what they do, don't they, is they put a little bit of flu into you to help you combat the flu. I was thinking by that argument, surely you should be able to have the odd cake to help you fight obesity. Because let's face it, you can do too much exercise, can't you? You know, did you see Madonna's arms? They didn't look right, did they? It's like half human, half Terminator. Of course, that's a problem when you're always picking up small African children going, no, no, no.
Thank you very much, Andy. What did David Cameron announce on Father's Day?
He announced that he wanted people to stigmatise runaway fathers in the same way that we stigmatise drunk drivers.
Yes. It was an unfair attack by David Cameron, really. I mean, he just stigmatised the whole group. Just because you father a child out of wedlock, you run away, take no responsibility for that child and never see them, does not mean that you're not Mayor of London.
This is a picture of the victorious German football team celebrating their World Cup win in the dressing room with Chancellor Angela Merkel. Germany defeated Argentina in the final by a single goal from Mario Götze in extra time, becoming the first European team ever to win a World Cup in South America. Were you shouting for anyone or not for anyone? Or
most English people were shouting for Germany, which is a first, really, isn't it?
I didn't mind 2-1. I just, it was a good game, but I found it very difficult just watching as an England fan because it all gone so wrong for England. And I bet if you're watching in 4 years' time on Dave, we're still shit, aren't we?
I could never support the Argentinians, not after what Maradona did, Wembley 2003. He didn't sing Material Girl.
The one I love, the guy I love being there was Putin, because he was there because they're hosting the next one, isn't it?
Yes.
And every country that hosts it is desperate to win. And he must have been looking at that final thinking, the only way that Russia are going to win is if we invade Germany.
Putin sitting next to Blatter was the finest photograph in the history of democracy. How do you win your elections? Oh, I never run against anyone. Me neither. High five! High five!
The death of Brazilian football. That's what they'd witnessed.
Oh, yeah.
Not funny, but
that was
interesting.
Well,
You say that. It was kind of funny. There was because a few weeks ago I was talking about the head, you know, the way they were overemphasising the pretty women in the crowd type shots all the time, and I said, and I on the show called for more shots of children crying, and then when they posted, there's that one of a small boy just blubbing his eye, and he's pushing his glasses out of his face, and he's got a Coca-Cola can, which is beautiful branding, absolutely spectacular branding, and he's weeping into it. And I got sent that image 4,000 or 5,000 times on Twitter in the minute after it was posted with the words "Happy now." Yes, I was. I went thrilled. Welcome. Which category would you like?
Home news.
Home news it is. The category is home news. The answer is 12 days. What is the question?
How long is Andy Murray gonna party after his won Wimbledon?
We'd like to believe so.
Is Andy Murray stupidly about to post his gold medals?
Where's Andy Murray?
Andy Murray is in Dunblane in Scotland. This is his homecoming after winning the US Open, which was a surprise to me, as I had no idea he played golf.
Andy Murray, a man who actually came along to our studios, didn't he?
Yes, indeed he did.
Came along after he'd lost Wimbledon.
Yep.
And then after we'd all taken the piss out of him,
yep,
he went off and he won the Olympics and he won the US Open.
Yes.
I think all sports people who are struggling should come into the audience of the show. Let's get Paula Radcliffe, Philip Sidowu, Nick Clegg. It'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
I think if I was opening a Pizza Express, I'd open it next to a Vision Express, so we got some of their customers by mistake.
We start with a round called Headliners. Here's a picture of the spectacular opening to the Olympic Games. But what does BGMC stand for?
Is it British Gas Managers Celebrate?
The answer is 1,000,000%. What is the question?
Is it, what is the blood alcohol content of Amy Winehouse?
We're wearing the same thing. How terribly embarrassing. I didn't know you had a kilt. Well, we didn't have a kilt. It was, the inquest... Oh, look, someone's been sick. Has Harry been in? There is your luggage, Your Highness. Oh, good. That's my cheese for the journey. Don't want to keep anyone waiting. Wish my mother felt the same.
Unlikely things to hear on a TV election debate.
I think of this studio as a second home, which is why I'm claiming expenses for it.
My girlfriend and I love watching box sets. We got 3 episodes into Orange is the New Black before finding out it wasn't about what would happen if Trump replaced Obama.
Thank you very much. Well done. Point in that round. Gonna go to lady. Come on. This is a stand-up challenge based on this news wheel dotted with topical subjects and faces. We spin the wheel, and when it stops, anyone can step forward and try to make us laugh about the subject it has landed on. If I judge that a person has got a big enough laugh, he or she is safe and gets to sit down again. The first team to have all its players sitting down at the desk wins the round. So here goes. Let's spin the wheel. Well, Michael Howard, the Tory party leadership. Who wants to get in on that? Ah, like a shot.
Hello. It's all right. I'm not going to hurt you. At the election, I announced my timetable for action, and here it is. I'm going.
Very good. Rory, Brendan, sit down. To be honest, you could have sat down after you did the face. So let's spin the wheel again. OK, education. Who wants to go for that? Frankie's up.
The government's new education policy, apparently, is to make children stay at school till they're 18. It's just not living in the modern world, is it? 17-year-olds having to go to school. Who's going to pick their kids up from primary? The Catholic Church have got a big thing this week. They say they don't want sex education in schools because that's like giving the kids pornography.
as opposed to the traditional Catholic method of educating them, of actually shagging them. Come on. Sex education at my school was a muttered warning about the janitor.
That's perfect. Frankie, sit down. Well done, you cool. Covered yourself in glory there. Let's have another look at the next story. OK, ASBOs. Who wants to go in on ASBOs? It's Linda.
Yeah, I think people are a bit down on ASBOs, but you've got to remember, these are the only qualifications that some kids are going to get.
Linda, sit down. Well done. What's our next topic? OK, ID cards. Who wants to come in on that? Jeremy.
Well, these are interesting because the defenders of ID cards say, well, we already have to carry lots of ID. You need to establish your identity in order to establish your entitlement to enter certain leisure centres or to claim benefit or to establish your entitlement to enter certain buildings. But this new card will establish your entitlement to go outside. And people say, well, they were a good idea because we had them in the Second World War. But in the Second World War, it was just a piece of cardboard that said, this is Mr. Wilkins, he's not a German spy. This will be this digitised, magnetised thing that says, this is Mr. Wilkins, he may not be a German spy, but he's got a genetic heart defect, his sister's against GM crops, and he took a video late back to Blockbuster in 1997.
Jeremy, please sit down. So, it's a tie-break situation. I'm going to spin the wheel one more time. I want the two remaining players, that's Hugh and John, to give me something on that one topic. You both get a go of it, and the audience essentially decides. So, let's spin the wheel. OK, the nation's health.
Apparently, it's very important to stay healthy to have 5 portions of fruit a day. I do that. I have half a packet of Starburst. The Tories are very big on MRSA, which I found a bit surprising. I reckon most of them thought it was the way a posh man would pronounce the lead singer of the Smiths.
Just stand there, Hugh, because John is going to try to top that now.
There is absolutely no need to worry about Britain's health because, as we've all learnt, Jamie Oliver is going to save us all. And if Jamie Oliver has only taught me one thing, and he has, it's this, that an unhealthy lifestyle is like a homing pigeon. Yes, it's a lot of fun at the time, but one day it will track you down and it will kill you.
Very good. I'm going to give it to John, so John and his team are the winners. OK, the topic is work.
I nearly lost my job as a roofer when I was caught masturbating on the first day. Yeah, luckily, my boss said I could wipe the slate clean. I used to work at Waterstones. One day, a guy came in asking if we had any audiobooks with subtitles. I thought, hang on, that's a book. The circus near me held a competition to find the best contortionist, so I entered myself and won. In my old job, I just used to punch buttons all day, and that's why I'm no longer allowed to work in panto. I've got 2 lawyers working for me at the minute. One's pro bono, and the other thinks he's a right pretentious twat. When my granddad was caught trying to stow away in the Merchant Navy, he offered to work his passage, which, as you can imagine, made him very popular. I hate people who phone me up just to complain about the weather, which is why I lost my job at Mountain Rescue. I was at a station the other day that had a piano on the platform, so I had a little tinkle on it, which saved me 30 pence. I went on a positive thinking course. It was shit. I bought a Microsoft Advent calendar. If you open too many windows at once, they all shut again for no bloody reason. Thank you.
Well done. Very good. Adding points for both of you. Well done. Come on, sit back in. And the first subject is identity. Who wants to come in with that? Josh.
I had to sign for a parcel recently. That's got a lot more difficult, hasn't it? Yeah, it used to be simple, didn't it, when you get a pen and a piece of card? Now you're given this kind of digital screen and plastic stick. And all you can do is some kind of zigzag up and down line. That bears no relation to any signature that has ever existed ever. Is that your signature? No. It's not the mark of Zorro. So you're checking this at the post office going, I've got bad news. Zorro is back. And he's signing for every parcel in the United Kingdom. I struggle filling in these forms, but I filled in the census last year. My favourite question was on the final page. There was a question that said, please fill in the details of anyone that doesn't live with you but stayed over on the night of March the 23rd. That's going to be very awkward if you've just had a one-night stand, isn't it? Good morning. A few questions. What is your occupation? What do I know? Well, I'm telling the government, actually, yeah. It's not the kind of thing you just drop in, just go, morning, do you take sugar in your tea? Also, would you describe yourself as Caucasian?
Thank you very much, Josh Livingston. OK, let's see what the next subject is. And it's nationality. Who wants to give me that? Catherine.
Hello. I'm of mixed heritage, actually. I talk like a Canadian, but I tolerate my partner's drinking like an Irish girl. I travel a lot, from London to Ireland, and anyone who's flown Heathrow to Cork knows that on your way to the plane, they have signs reminding you how many chances you've got left to get drunk. They're like 6 licensed shops, 2 shops, 1 shop. It's like, what? Before I board an aircraft filled with wine to get to the land of Guinness? And the final shop is right at the gate. And in that shop, there's a sign that says, no ID, no sale. And I'm like, this is an international airport. How about no ID? How'd you get on the plane? It is in the boarding lounge, If a terrorist manages to sneak through levels of security at the world's busiest international airport, give him a pint.
Thank you very much, Catherine Ryan. OK, that leaves us with Milton. Let's see what you've been left with, Milton. Let's spin the wheel. Transport is the topic.
So I've got my own private jet. The rest of the jacuzzi belongs to my mum. If you've got a sat-nav, don't put the name of the company you're visiting into it. I tried to take some mayonnaise back the other day. I ended up in Helmand Province. I mean, I've got a car, but there's nothing I like better than making a bonfire on the passenger seat. Driving up and down, opening and shutting the electric sunroof and pretending to be a steam train. My uncle, he was a taxi driver, but then one day he left home without any indication. So recently, I was fell walking in the Lake District. Well, it's not quite true. Recently, I fell walking in the Lake District. I was going to tell someone, but the pillar box was full of sugar puffs.
Thank you very much, Milton. OK, that round. Come on, sit back up. First subject is climate change. Use in like a shot.
The problem with climate is that we're ruining the environment. You know, every year we destroy an area of rainforest the size of Belgium. Why not just destroy Belgium? No one would mind. We're desperate to find an alternative to oil. Wind is one, but what worries me about wind power is that if you cover Britain with 400,000 wind turbines, right, on a windy day, what's to stop the whole country taking off? like an enormous hovercraft and heading for France. That is European unification by the back door.
Very good, Hugh. Hugh, sit down. Congratulations. Very good. So, let's have another topic. Live 8. Rory's coming in like a shot.
Yes, it's Live 8 this week. Bob Geldof's big thing was to persuade people to go to Edinburgh by boat. Right. Okay, because the first 20 miles are easy. The rest you're going to carry the boat on your shoulders. They're trying to get a million people up to Edinburgh. Elton John's not going. He's sending flowers. And it's a whole G8 Live 8 thing where the world's richest 8 nations get to meet the world's 8 richest rock stars.
Rory, well done. Sit down. Let's have another topic. OK, reality TV. Who wants to get in?
Me.
Oh, hang on.
Just a second, though. 12 calories. Well, you probably realise that the 487th series of Big Brother has just started. Problem to me with Big Brother is that when someone gets voted out of the house, they don't actually have a sniper up in a tree with one bullet, just to see how they do. Now, I actually applied for Celebrity Love Island, but...
Joe, you can sit down now if you want to. That's just, Travel. Who wants to come in that?
I'll do it.
Chris has.
The most dangerous roads in the whole of the world are British motorways. That is my sincere belief. Not because of the speed, because you can't get up speed on the British motorway because you're stuck behind a dick in a caravan. Do you know, I found this out. 1 in 5 families in this country goes caravanning. Why? What makes a family who don't get on in a normal-sized house believe that squeezing themselves into a tin for a fortnight is going to improve matters? It's such a self-deluding activity, which for me is symbolised by that. You know that 5-foot-long wing mirror, the attachable wing mirror the dad puts on the car? Well, I have to see what's behind me. It's of paramount importance that at all moments I can see what is behind me. Oh, for goodness sake, just paste a picture of a traffic jam on there, because that's what's behind you. You don't need to look to see what's behind you. It's there because you are. So the government, they're boring, right? The motorways are boring, and the government puts up those signs to stop us falling asleep, saying, TARDIS can kill, take a break. But the thing is, we're not surprised by those signs anymore, so they don't really work. I think they have to keep changing them. I think they should change those signs to keep us on our toes. Change them to ones that say, Deja vu can kill, take a break. And then one exactly the same, half a mile.
OK, let's spin the wheel again. Next topic is politics. Who wants to come in on that? Any persons?
So, we have a Liberal-Conservative coalition. It makes no sense, does it? 2 words that mean completely opposite things. It would be like having the Whig-Baldy coalition or having voted for the no-swearing arse party. We have a new Foreign Secretary, William Hague. I don't think he's going to be taken seriously, is he? Every time he goes to Afghanistan, they're just going to think, oh, it's Ross Kemp on another undercover show. I mean, at the moment, you know, we'll never know, will we, exactly how much Bigotgate affected the election result. Why didn't Gordon Brown just answer Gillian Duffy's question? All she said was, those Eastern Europeans, where are they coming from? Now, even I could have answered that question.
Thank you very much, Danny Parsons. OK, that leaves us with Mickey. Let's see what topic you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is food. Oh, there you go.
Now, this is one of my favourite topics because I actually hate restaurants.
And my wife loves restaurants. She's middle class. She's been skiing and everything. And she loves a restaurant. She says, can we go to a restaurant at the weekend? And I say, yes, we can. And we're barely there 2 minutes, and she's like, isn't it a lovely ambiance? And I say to her, I don't know what you're talking about. I've worked out what an ambiance is. It's a night out about poor people, isn't it, basically? It's people with a few quid to say, can we just have one night out about the poor people turning up? You know what they're like. They'll be banging spoons together, singing Mailman's a Dustman, creating an atmosphere. We want an ambiance. So we try and enjoy the ambiance. But something's happened spoiling it for me. There's no tomato sauce on the table. Creating the situation when my wife looked at me, she said, you're going to ask for tomato sauce, aren't you? I said, yes, I am. Because I'm going to have the risotto. You can't eat risotto without red sauce, it's too dry. It's a health and safety issue. You've got to zhuzh it up with a bit of red sauce, right? So I thought, I'm not having it. I said to the waitress, excuse me, do you have any ketchup in the building? She's looked at me like I'm the worst pleb God has ever put breath in. She went off to the kitchen and I saw her making her way back with a pot about that big, about 2 chipfuls of tomato sauce. I thought, oh, here we go. She's tried to put it down and walk away like she's doing a drug deal or something. And I stopped her. I said, hold on, love, don't rush off. And I took a sip of it. And I looked at her, I said, Jess, I'll have a bottle, please.
Thank you very much for your job. And that point first, going to make it fine again. Well done. Trust. Who wants to come in on that? Sean.
I get proud. I get guilty when I'm with a friend and he loses money in his house. This happened to me recently. My friend lost a £5. I thought, does he think I've taken his £5? Is this what's happening? He thinks I've taken... I want to say I haven't taken his £5, but I don't want him to think that I'm guilty. And then I start thinking, hang on, have I taken his £5? Maybe I've taken his £5. Maybe I've put his £5 in my pocket. I want to check my pocket. I can't check my pocket. If he sees me checking my pocket, he's going to think I've nicked his £5. I want to go and hide and check my pocket. I can't hide and check my pocket. If I hide and check my pocket, he's definitely going to think I've nicked his £5. So I went into the bathroom. I found his £5. I couldn't go and give it to him. It would have looked like I got guilty, decided to give it back. I can't just leave it there. He's seen me go in. It's going to look like I planted it, so I just nicked it.
Well done, Sean. OK, let's spin the wheel again. Subject is family. Who wants to come in on that? Greg.
All of my family are obsessed by the ageing process. Every single generation of us are obsessed by it at the moment. I'll just share this with you before I talk about other family members, just so I can get it off my chest. I was visiting my parents last week, and an old family friend came up to us in the street and said to my mum, hello, Pauline, how are you? She said, I'm all right, thanks, Kath, how are you? And then she looked up at me and she said, hello, Bob, how are you? Bob is my dad. He is 75 years of age. All of us are obsessed with it. All of us are obsessed with ageing in our family. Even my nan. My nan is doing her best to hold off the years. She puts a pound of face cream on every single morning. You know, and there's not a face cream on the market that works, ladies and gentlemen. I know that because of my nan, because she's a lovely woman, but she's religiously applied this stuff, and with the best will in the world, her face is ruined. I said to her, you've spent all that time and all that money, Gran, and your face is no better than Grandad's. And he's dead. He died in the war. He got shot in the face. With a cannon.
OK. That leaves you with Milton. Let's see what you've been after. Let's spin the wheel. And the subject is travel.
When I was young, my mum used to put food on a spoon and say, there's a train coming, there's a train coming, there's a train coming. We'd always eat it because we knew that if we didn't, she wouldn't untie us from the railway line. I tried to get here by train today. They said, today there's a bus replacement service. So I gave him a tin of pineapple chunks. I said, what's that? I said, that's my money replacement service. I didn't have any money because her friend nicked my fiver. Thanks, that doesn't normally work. Anyway, I managed to borrow a car and I parked it up in Bus Lane. Last year I went on a ballooning holiday, put on 4 stone. The other day I bought one of those off-road vehicles, 3,000 quid, got it home, found out it was a canoe.
The first subject is health. Going to volunteer. Frankie.
Part of the side effect of the smoking ban in Scotland is that every pub, no matter how terrible or horrible, now has tables and chairs outside it. Basically, Glasgow looks like Paris after a nuclear war. People say there's no such way as a good way to die, and those people have never heard the phrase drug-fueled sex heart attack. There's a great case in Scotland at the minute. A guy had a sex change, and he had everything chopped off, and then he decided that he wanted to change back, and they wouldn't let him. So he went to the European Court, and they said, OK, you can change back. Now he's changed his mind again. Wants to stay as he is. Typical woman.
Frankie Boyle. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is the West Country. Who? Russell.
How can you not love the West Country? I've genuinely seen graffiti in Bristol during the last Tory campaign. Do you remember, are you thinking what we're thinking? Somebody had written underneath it, is it, do I like what's-its? It's phenomenal. Just wonderful, isn't it? I used to live there. I've moved away from Bristol because I was near a dogging site, which is just a bit odd, right? And, all right, I wasn't into it. I was just near a dogging site, right? And I was talking to my friend. I was like, Jane, why do they do dogging near the house, right? And she looked and went, apparently you got really great views of the Clifton Suspension Bridge. And you're like, well, you've got faith in humanity, haven't you? Just the idea that I tell you what, it's only when you're doing the nasty in a Cortina that you can truly appreciate the work of Isambard King of Brunei. That, my friend, is craftsmanship. Shall we? No. Wonderful.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. OK, we're left with Michael and Andy. Let's spin the wheel again. The next subject is North-South Divide. There goes Michael.
Right, yes. Now, I am from the south. Have you noticed? I have been north, up the M1, and I don't know what happens to the word the. It seems to disappear at about junction 25 on the M1, and the word the just goes, that's it from me, I'm getting off. You go on ahead. Are you coming with? No, I'm not interested up there. And then you get there and they don't have, they say, up to fridge, or you're going up to, what are you doing? My first experience of this was when I went to the cinema in Leeds. I saw The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. I had more fun asking the woman what it is I'd booked to see than watching the entire movie itself. So what is it I'm seeing here today? To one, to witch and to wardrobe. What's she talking about? Are you hearing this? Are you taking toothpaste? Yes, of course. I thought it might be a nice idea maybe to go to HMV and get a DVD of The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, maybe The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, and perhaps an album by The, and just line them up on the counter. What is it I've decided to purchase here? Took one, took witch and took wardrobe. Took good, took button, took ugly. And took. Thank you.
Well done, Michael. OK, Andy, let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And it's religion.
Looks like my dad. We should, of course, remember that there are 5 major world religions. 4 of them got to be wrong. Imagine that, right? You're on your last day, you're going off to meet your maker. The gods of the 5 major world religions lined up in front of you. You've chosen your god, you're happy with your god. You go up to your god and your god produces a little bit of cardboard. Bluff. That is going to hurt, isn't it?
Well done, Andy Parsons. At the end of that round, the points go to Michael and Frankie. We start with a round called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Reese, which category would you like?
Home news, please, Dara.
Home news is the category. That's an interesting choice. Let's see what's happened this week. Yeah, I know. Your category is home news. The answer is 43 years. What is the question?
Is it for how long will the average Glastonbury goer keep their wristband on?
Is it how long will it take for Nigel Farage's erection to subside?
Is it if Jeremy Corbyn asked the Shadow Cabinet for a high five, how long would they leave him hanging?
Is it how long will somebody have to wait if they're born today before they can move out of their parents' house?
Is it how long will you have to wait for your Uber if everyone gets deported?
Is it how long does Rob take to brush his teeth?
Big teeth, isn't it?
Is it what's the age difference between Cher and parts of Cher?
Is it how many years has Jeremy Corbyn had his shirt?
Is it the average age of the Russian under-21 gymnastic team?
Does anyone know what the correct answer is?
On which wedding anniversary is it traditional to give them some time apart?
Well, actually, I think it's how long have we been in the EU?
Absolutely right. Thank you very much. Cheers. And it's the internet. Who wants to come in? Joe.
The internet. You know when you buy things on Amazon and they have recommendations? You know, like the person who purchased this also purchased this. I was thinking I would like to hack into Amazon and put up my own recommendations. So, like, the customer who purchased My Story by Danny Minogue also purchased a length of rope and a wobbly chair. Customers who bought the book Fabulous Photos of Puppies and Kittens also bought Why Men Leave. And customers who bought 50 Shades of Grey also bought a great big cucumber. Internet crime is apparently on the rise because of the recession, because we're all short of money. Like, in my family, like, my granddad has to go into a home, and these places are very expensive. But we found somewhere, and it's really nice, because he's got his own sort of kitchenette, he's got his own shower stall, there's an outside space with plants and shrubs and stuff. Best thing is, it's completely free. We've left him in home base.
OK, that leaves us with Gary. Let's see what topic you've been left with. Spin the wheel. And the topic is family.
Family. Old lady names are very much back in fashion at the minute, like Lily or Elsie or Rose, and we wanted something like that for our daughter, but we couldn't decide, so in the end we just called her Nan. I told her she'll grow into it. I remember one time my uncle asked me to spell Schadenfreude and I couldn't, but he's dead now and I'm not, so I win. cousin always introduces himself as Stephen with a PH, and that's because he's slightly acidic. My married friends would always tell me there's someone out there for everyone, and I'd think, wow, she must be a right slag. Knock, knock, who's there? Grandad. Shit, stop the funeral. Grandad asked me how to print on his new computer. I said, just Control P. He said, I haven't been able to do that for years. As a child, I was always told that if I touched myself down there, God was watching. But it turned out it was just Uncle Peter. Thank you.
Read all about it. Read all about it. Miserable.
Point it out, I'm going to go to the lady. Come on, back. Now we come to our final quickfire round called Scenes We'd Like to See. This is for everyone, so if you could make your way over to the performance area. I caught ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and the performers come in with their suggestions. OK, here we go. The first subject is questions that were rejected from this year's exams.
If the answer is 9, what is the question?
When you finish this exam, please will you turn your paper over and mark it?
Using Darwin's theory of evolution, explain Boris Johnson.
By the year 2015, the population of the Earth will have increased by 20%. How do we find Kerry Katona and stop her?
Complete the following sequence. 16, 35, 24, 8, 9. Now open the safe, grab the stuff and get in the getaway car.
If an object is travelling at 750 miles an hour, encounters resistance and slows to 0, for how many months will Richard Hammond have to wear nappies?
On the diagram below, show on the body where you like to be touched.
Describe Uranus without telling your parents.
Amy is 16. At least she said she was. How much trouble are you in?
Complete this crop rotation. Wheat, fallow, rock festival, BNP rally.
If everybody in Class A is called Tom, Thomas or Tommy, and every second boy in Class B is called Tim, Timothy or Timmy, what the fuck is going on?
Unlikely questions from this year's exams.
Discuss the metaphysical meaning of the following poem. My friend Billy has a 10-foot willy.
Would you like this exam to be A, multiple choice, or not?
The Bronte sisters. Shag, marry, push off a cliff.
Discuss the following. The Nazis got all their ideas from the History Channel.
Who's the chap in the A team who would not get on the aeroplane? Was it A, B, or B, A?
If a bank loses £60 billion in a 6-month period, using numbers that you've plucked out of thin air, work out what the chief executive's bonus will be.
Napoleon, a small man or a long way away?
Quantify n in terms of q when q is a positive integer that dissects a parabolic curve.
How's your lucky pencil case now?
What's What's the name of that round thing that they throw in the Olympics? Discuss.
Draw a diagram of the genitalia of the male elephant. Use all 30 sheets of paper provided.
Biology. Without singing, what is the knee bone connected to?
Explain the use of juxtaposition in Macbeth. Alternatively, write down everything you know about Macbeth in a blind panic because you've got no idea what the word juxtaposition is.
Drama. Question 1. What was it that first made you want to become a waiter?
What is your PIN number?
OK, here we go. The first subject is rejected questions from this year's exams.
If sine A over A equals sine B over B equals sine C over C, what are the chances that you're ever going to use this in your sodding adult life?
According to Germany, how much is Greece worth? 1 mark.
Exam board of Zaragoza. Paint Jesus.
Jonathan is a Nigerian prince. What are your credit card details?
3 girls in this hall are pregnant. Who's the daddy?
Compare the following. A, the market. B, the meerkat.
Heat the crystals until they produce a vapour. Inhale. The exam seems easier now, doesn't it?
Without swearing, describe Peter Andre.
Mental arithmetic. Count up the voices in your head.
Using the paper provided, roll a joint and pass it round.
Does this look infected?
In the recent Olympics, Great Britain won 3 times as many gold medals as Australia. That's not a question, just a statement.
One Direction are incredibly popular. Explain.
Sport. How do you spell Akabusi? Is it A-K-B-U-C? Yes or no?
If Steve eats 2 apples, an orange and a banana, why is he such a fat fucker?
Questions omitted from this year's exams.
Using pi, distract the fat kid next to you so as you can copy his answers.
Using only the English language, write something.
History. Henry IV, Henry V, Henry VII. Which was the greatest Hoover the caretaker ever had?
Maths. Robert has 400 stamps. He'd like to put them in 12 different albums. He wants to have them equally in each album. How many friends does Robert have?
Do you know the way to San Jose?
Religious studies. If 2 men have been married for 10 years, for how long will they burn in hell for?
If the fluid has been flowing at 21 litres a minute for 15 minutes, what on earth is wrong with my bladder?
Fill your name at the top of the exam paper. If it's Tyler or Charmaine, get up, leave the school and never come back.
Using only the mass of the ass and the angle of the dangle, calculate the measure of the pleasure.
Yes. If a man travels 12 miles each day to buy a loaf of bread, how long before he realises that living in the countryside is shit?
Are multiple choice exams too easy? A, yes.
Optician's final exam. What do you think are the main causes of short-sightedness? And now? How about now? And now? What about now? And now?
Media studies, trick question 1. Name a business like show business.
Geography. What is to blame for climate change? A, the sunlight, B, the moonshine, C, the good times, or D, the boogie?
Now we play a round called Set Your Phasers to Fun. This game involves Hal and Gary, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launched a wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. The winner is whoever I think is the funniest. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. First subject is building. Who wants to come in on that? Hal Crutton.
Building freaks me out a bit. Well, builders intimidate me, because I've had builders come to work at my house and they work for like 2 days, then go away for a week. And you end up making that phone call to them, and it makes me feel like a little kid whose parents have split up and the dad's being really crap. It's the same conversation. You just go, you said you'd come on Saturday. You said you'd be here on Saturday. I'm really sorry, mate. I've been really busy. I can make it Tuesday. Do you promise you'll come on Tuesday? Can we go to the park? I love you. They intimidate me. I've had a builder come and give me a quote on a problem in my house and make it worse right in front of my face. Literally, feeling my wall, go, yeah, feel that damp, mate, that's chronic, that's soaking wet, yeah? All round there, that's soaking wet, yeah? I put a little knife in, yeah? Watch it crumble. Look at the plaster fall away from your wall. Look at the size of that hole in your wall. That hole wasn't there when you arrived. It's massive, isn't it, mate? It's massive. No other job does that. No other job diagnoses a problem by making it worse, do they? Nobody. You know, doctors don't go, I think you've got brittle bones, mate, I do, and then stamp on your leg, do they? See that, mate? Your leg was like a twig, yeah? I think you've got a dodgy heart as well. Boom! See, you're having a heart attack, you see? I actually tried to help this builder finish our kitchen, and he just stopped and went, mate, and I kind of jumped because I'd been momentarily transfixed by the beauty of the bubble and the spirit level. He just stopped. He said, seriously, mate, leave it. You don't know what you're doing. I'll finish it off. And that night I had a dream that I was making love to my wife. And he walked in and said, seriously, mate, leave it. You don't know what you're doing. I'll finish it off.
Thank you very much, Hal Crutton. OK, it's Gary now, so let's see what topic you've got, Gary. Let's spin the wheel. Topic is childhood.
As a child, I was made to walk the plank. We couldn't afford a dog. My 6-year-old refuses to eat anything other than alphabetic spaghetti. Luckily, he's dyslexic, so I just buy him normal spaghetti. Seems to work. Dad, these are all L's. Yeah, it's Welsh. I bought him some medicine for his ADHD. On the side of the bottle, it said concentrate. I thought, if he could do that... I bought a really nice 12-year-old Scotch. Obviously, his parents weren't pleased. hate people who complain about breastfeeding in public. I don't want to see it, or that's disgusting, or you can't do that, you're not a woman. And that's not a baby. As kids, we always enjoyed dipping ginger nuts into a steaming hot cup of tea, but of course nowadays that's called bullying. I shouldn't do that, by the way. Ginger jokes are the last vestiges of racism in comedy, and they started a ginger pride movement to stamp that shit out. They had a march in Hyde Park. Well, they were going to, but the sun came out. Nan always said that when she was young, she never had to worry about leaving her back door open. What a slag. I'm totally going to get in trouble with the family again. This is really not worth it. You got to look after your health as you get older. The other day I did a poo and noticed there was a little blood in it. I said, "Oi, bruv, get out my toilet, innit?" Thank you.
Well done, Guy Delaney. Well done, both of you. Points for both of you. Come on back. On the board are 6 categories. Rob, which category would you like?
Politics. I love a bit of that.
Your category is politics. The answer is 13. What is the question?
Is it the number of people on X Factor's first episode with dead relatives?
If Wayne Rooney went to Real Madrid instead of Gareth Bale, how many months would it have taken him to manage the Spanish for hello?
Is it? I know what it is. Is it when Louis Walsh goes over to One Direction's house to play ping pong? How many little white balls are in the room? That's what it is.
Spot on, mathematically. Yeah.
OK, is it on which day of Christmas the Wonga.com come and repossess everything?
Is it the number of BBC programmes currently hosted by Dara O'Brien?
Is it? How many times did I have to watch that Miley Cyrus video before I could really consider myself to be well informed on the subject?
Is it in fact, how many times a day does Oscar Pistorius think, well, I suppose I could just have knocked?
Is it the number of feet required by the restraining order that I have on Brian Blessed?
Stuart, I know you want some!
Is it the number of soldiers France will actually send to Syria?
Is it
in politics there, mate? Yeah.
At what age do you realise that One Direction might be shit?
Do we have a correct answer? Do we have a correct answer?
What is the atomic number for unluckium?
Very good. Very good. I'm glad you tried to slip that one under the door. That was nice, yeah. Our next round is called This Is the Answer, What is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. John, which category would you like?
I would like world news, please, Dara.
OK, world news is the category. The answer is 3%. What is the question?
Is it what percentage of my life have I spent thinking the toaster is broken when actually I haven't plugged it in?
Is it my milkshake brings what percentage of boys to the yard?
Is it, what is my success rate for plugging in a USB charger the right way around first time?
Is it how much of a portion of Viennetta you get around Jeremy Hunt's house?
What percentage of the population of Midsummer are still alive?
Is it how many of Southern Rail's trains run today?
Oh, yeah. You're ha and clapping now. You're never getting home.
Is it, what are the chances?
Very true. Very,
It
very
could
true.
be like, what are the chances of John proposing live on air? How much a week? Oh my God, let's come up. Why not?
Which is...
Spider hands.
Please tell me that when you propose, as you ever do, you will do spider hands first. You will
Every day I propose to someone random. And I'll come up and go... No, OK, go on.
It's the percentage of Facebook posts from new parents that I give a shit about.
Is it...
Oh, yeah, you all got kids, haven't you? Keep your dirty dick in your trousers and save us all a lot of bother.
This is so much like an anxiety dream for me.
Will you marry me?
Wow.
You got it on tape, right? You can't deny it. I'm going to show his mum.
Is it... no jam?
It's not about jam. It's clearly not about jam.
What is the answer?
It's world news.
It's
We
world
make our own
news.
jam. It is, I suspect, how far ahead is Hillary Clinton in the polls?
That's absolutely correct answer. Thank you very much.
Pretty sure you're looking for the one-armed man.
To be honest, should we not wait for Adam to put his foot back?
Yeah. Probably should have done that one last, really.
Problem.
I kind of backed myself into a corner. Quick impression, Heather Mills in the morning.
I could not stop looking at that then. Was that really weird? I don't know why, I was just like, the leg, look at the leg. I don't know what I was thinking, just the leg. I wanted to touch the leg.
It was a nice joke to do, but I think most of you kind of went, ah!
The thing is, we all know Adam's only got one leg, everyone else does. Now, he's hurting himself!
OK.
I think you're looking for the bloke with one leg.
The Met Office have issued a weather warning. They've told the weather not to do that again, or there'll be trouble.
Temperatures could rise to 31 degrees. Shit, I've left my baby in the car!
And finally, a warning to hay fever sufferers. Don't come sneezing near me or I'll rip your face off.
So, here's the summary. Monday shite, Tuesday shite, Wednesday shite, Thursday bollocks.
The humidity's rising. The barometer's going low. Tonight, for the first time, just about 10:30, it's going to start raining men.
The outlook's bright for the weekend. I've got 3 grams of coke in my pocket and my wife's on holiday.
Well, let's go to Carol on the roof of Television Centre. She's not meant to be there. She's just a bit depressed.
This part of the country is going to stay hot and wet for quite some time because that's where my girlfriend lives. Oh, yeah.
So, it's going to be between 17 and 21, but Berlusconi won't date older than that.
It was raining cats and dogs last night.
I should know. I was throwing them off my roof.
It's going to be -12 this weekend, so if you're in Newcastle, you might need a bigger T-shirt.
It's going to be cloudier tonight. I love those German birds.
What do you care what the weather's going to be like? You look shit in all your clothes.
She felt every part of his 8 inches. He was stiff, absolutely wretched, and even in her innocence, she knew her hamster was dead.
He felt a swelling down there. Shouldn't have tried to bang a beehive.
He took her hand in his and squeezed it. Now, he thought, I wonder where the rest of her body is.
I want to role play. I'll be a prince from a mythical land, and you be your sister.
He looked at the tattoo of Chinese writing on her back. He didn't know what it meant, but he did know she'd put out on a first date.
Jeremy Corbyn, you've got me blindfolded. What are you going to do now? Nothing. I just wanted to highlight the injustice of inmates detained at Camp X-Ray without a fair trial.
Who are arming themselves with rifles and pots of Nutella at
Is
the
it the
moment?
loose women?
Well, not loose women.
It's the people that are killing the badgers.
Well, people
I sounded more sad than I was about that.
You made it sound like the most hard... It's the people who are killing the badgers. Why, Mummy? Why, Mummy, are the people killing the badgers?
Okay. Why does someone think of the badgers?
It's the people killing the badgers because badgers apparently give cows TB.
Yes.
Cows, badgers, badgers, cows. that may be too black and white.
You say the black and white now, it'll be black and white and red all over. OK, that's a groan because of the pun or because the poor badgers? Thank you, Bob. I can't work your moods out. Sorry.
Brian May, he's against the badger
He's
colours.
against the badger
and
colour,
you
Brian
can
May.
see why, can't you? He's only got to walk through the countryside without somebody trying to shoot his hair off.
What was the name of his organisation?
Queen, yeah.
No. Do you know what his organisation's called?
Is it
Team Badger!
It's called Team Badger, whose initial spell, TB. You've not thought this
The
through.
reason he's protecting badgers is because, judging by that picture, he owns the world's largest badger.
But what a badger it is. That is like a badger of destiny. Of that badger, he goes, I'm above such tiny considerations. I see far into the future. I see a land where badgers and man can finally... He also seems in that photograph to be on a Zimmer frame, so it's really not looking good for Brian on a number of different levels.
You know what's weird or wrong, kind of, about this story, though, is the fact that to attract the badgers out so they can shoot them, they're attracting them out with Nutella and peanut butter, which must be really difficult for people who live locally, who want to live healthily, right? So they go to the doctor tells them to go on a diet, go for a nice walk. They go for a nice walk, and the fields are full of Nutella. They're not going to get any exercise at all, are they? The only exercise they get is licking the grass.
Do you find Nutella to be so compelling a dish that if you saw it smeared on some grass in a field, you go, lovely, snack time.
You know what look like something else smeared on the grass in the field? You're very much taking your chances there, don't you? Going again, one day I'll get there.
And what about the badgers that don't come out and are waiting for the toast?
It is just a lot of spread, isn't it?
They want to kill 3,000, don't they? That's what they will kill. And I was just wondering what they're going to do with them afterwards, because I'm a sort of part-time taxidermist, and I really fancy having a badger army.
I would love to think of you, Joe, buried with your badger army. Just your coffin in the middle and radiating outwards a badger army in separate poses, ready to attack at different points.
And just you embalmed in Nutella.
Yes.
If you cull too many badgers, you'll just force them underground anyway.
What celebrity has stepped into it?
Clarissa Dixon Wright.
Clarissa Dixon Wright stepped in. You know what she said?
She said...
Gas hog fall.
Essentially, yes, there you go.
They were holding it in Northern Ireland, weren't they? And I suppose one of the advantages of holding it in Northern Ireland is if they do have any anti-G8 protesters, people in Northern Ireland are just going to laugh at them, aren't they? You know, call that a protest. We'll show you a protest.
It's good for the protesters themselves, because I would imagine Northern Ireland is one of the best places to find a cheap second-hand balaclava.
I did a tour last year and I was talking about the riots in London, and there was a point where I would go, "Did you see the riots?" to the audience, you know, and Northern Ireland, in Derry, they went, "Riots, my hole." With like a genuine civic pride in how much better their riots were than the riots. One bloke shouted, "That was a shopping trip." And the reason I brought up always is because there's one thing when it comes to riots, and this may have been like in their mind. There's one thing that they have in Northern Ireland that the rest of the UK don't have when it comes to riots. Do you know what it is?
A loyalty card?
No. Hello, John. Hello. Yeah, back again.
Looting you again.
Yeah.
A genuine grievance?
No, a piece of equipment. It's actually the UK's, but they're all stored in Northern Ireland.
It's water cannons.
It's water cannons.
But they could make those friendlier by popping a Barocca in.
Hang on, if you put a Barocca into a water cannon...
Just get friendly foam. It'd be like a disco. Everyone would love it.
So it would be orange. It might be a bit antagonistic.
Yeah. All of the UK's water cannons are stored in Northern Ireland. The funny thing is, if you ask that in Northern... Everyone in Northern Ireland knows that. If you ask, hey, why were there no water cannons in the London riots? Everyone in Northern Ireland knows what. But if you ask in, say, Northampton, why were there no water cannons in the London riots? The genuine first answer was hosepipe ban. As if they didn't use it in case middle-class people pretended to riot to get their... Oh, come on, I'm rioting! Yeah. I'm rioting near the begonias. I'm rioting here. Now we play a round called Thief of Baghdad. This game involves Ed, Jack, Andy and Russell, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This is where we test our performers' stand-up skills. We spin our news generator. It settles on a topic and anyone can volunteer jokes about the chosen subject. The winners are the people I judge to produce the funniest stuff. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. First subject is sleep. Edbert.
Does anyone here sleep with someone who snores? Yes. Well, I envy you, because I lie awake next to someone who snores. My wife snores terribly, and part of what keeps me awake is lying there going, how do you sleep through this? I can't sleep through it, I'm only next to it. The noise is inside your head. And how come you can sleep through that? But the sound of me making a sandwich in our kitchen, that wakes you up. There is no way me making a sandwich makes more noise than you're making right now. She snores. So she said the cutest thing to me one time, though. She says, do I not sound like a kitten purring? Bless. No. You sound like a cat drowning in porridge. If I had a kitten made that noise, I'd put it down. Apparently she had her nose broken a couple of times when she was a kid. Didn't teach her. She's still bleeding snores.
Thank you very much, Ed. OK, let's spin the wheel again. Subject is health. Andy Parsons.
With flu jabs now, what they do, don't they, is they put a little bit of flu into you to help you combat the flu. I was thinking by that argument, surely you should be able to have the odd cake to help you fight obesity. Because let's face it, you can do too much exercise, can't you? You know, did you see Madonna's arms? They didn't look right, did they? It's like half human, half Terminator. Of course, that's the problem when you're always picking up small African children going, no, no.
you very much, Andy. OK, the leads are Russell and Jack. Let's spin the wheel. The next subject is television. Who wants to come into that? Jack.
I get very frustrated with pretty much everything on television. I find adverts at the moment particularly annoying, like the banking adverts, because they're trying to portray bankers as being nice people. Like, they've got this one at the moment for, like, a mobile bank that travels around the country, and you walk in and there's your friendly local bank manager acting like a hairdresser, like, nattering away. You know, you walk up to the till, it's like, oh, how was your holiday? I went camping. Oh, why did you go camping? Because you lost all of my money! Decided the only option I've got is just to not watch TV at all, because everything annoys me. And I've got quite a lot of people that pressure me into doing that as well. Like my dad, he's quite old-fashioned. He's always saying, you don't need to watch television. You should do other things, better things, more edifying things. Don't watch TV, Jack. You should read. Read the great novels. They're entertaining, they're educational. Even read the Bible. The Bible is engrossing. It's enthralling. The stories of Jesus, they're encapsulating, they're invigorating. I'm like, no, Dad. If I wanted to be entertained by 12 people sat round a table trying to impress some bearded Jewish know-it-all that thinks he's some kind of deity, I will watch The Apprentice.